Third phase of moon. Third phase of moon.
This is Blake Cousins, founder of Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show, Blake.
Hey, thanks, Dr. J. Great roundtable tonight. I wanted to get to, we're working on something special, something incredible. It's DARPA. What's DARPA up to? We at Third Phase of Moon want to find out what's going on at the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. DARPA is up to something big. They've been doing this since 1958. Their headquarters are in Arlington, Virginia, and they have 240 employees, and they have $1 billion budget. These aircraft that DARPA's using and building from reverse Elling technology, it's something incredible, something that needs to be investigated. We're looking for people that are on the inside of DARPA. There's only 240 employees. What's the turnover rate over there? Somebody has had to have been fired from there or want to speak out. We're looking for DARPA employees that want to talk and share what's going on over there, because something's going on. These aircraft are something straight out of a Star Trek movie, but they don't look like UFOs. UFOs and these other videos that we get right here at Third Phase Moon, they're unconventional. DARPA keeps it conventional, but still there's that edge. Is anybody on the... What do you think about
I've
that?
actually worked on a few DARPA projects, and usually they're cutting edge. The stuff that I was doing was semiconductor stuff. Typically, always trying to push the envelope, and that's typical with DARPA projects. Is they're always trying to push the envelope of whatever particular technology. So
DARPA, I think what they're doing is reverse engineering. Obviously, I think it's a given. Obviously, we've had craft since at least 1936. Hitler had. We've had them since 1942, the Cape Girardeau incident in Missouri, unless you want to go back to the 1896 case in Aurora, Texas. But obviously to say that we have had ET craft and have not reverse engineered them would be very stupid.
Well, that's, if you want to look for the ET connection, if you look at Corso's book, The Day After Roswell, he says that the technologies that were released were semiconductors, night vision, and lasers. Right, exactly. There's a trifecta.
Kevlar,
right?
Kevlar too.
Well, Kevlar, yeah, but from my standpoint, I happened to be in the optics industry, which dealt with semiconductors, lasers, and night vision. So that was kind of,
And he seeded that technology into what we're using
and
right
DARPA,
now.
of course, feeds it. They basically they fund the high tech, the state of the art stuff, and then that all filters down.
Mr. Kelly, let me ask you. So you say yourself you worked on the DARPA project?
I worked on, when I was in the optics industry, making parts for photolithography systems and stuff like that, microphotolithography, semiconductors, servicing the semiconductor industry. Several projects that came through there over the years were DARPA, but typically, I can tell you exactly what they were. They had to do with printing the mask of the semiconductors. In other words, the master patterns for the photo masks. And
let me ask you, Mr. Lee, I thanks for coming back on Third Phase Moon. There was a lot of comments on the Illuminati came forward, and you gave a lot of information. People were really interested in your insight. But when the annual budget claimed by Wikipedia is that it's $1 billion and there's only 240 employees. That's accurate?
Blake, let me jump in for that. I got to tell you, is obviously what's written as the budget is not the real budget. And I know this for a fact because this SEAL, who's not into conspiracies or anything at all, he was just a normal Navy SEAL who was in Vietnam from 66 to 69. And then he did 2 mercenary missions. And he said every single mission during the SEALs and the mercenaries after came from the CIA. Well, both mercenary missions were to guard giant cargo ships full of coke, 2 coming to the U.S., one from Peru, one from Colombia.
But that's not DARPA, John.
But that's Black Ops.
A lot of people...
That's funding Black Ops, though.
Well, see, but that's another thing. I was involved in that, too. But the DARPA thing is different. DARPA really does go out to industry in the form of grants and contracts to make advanced stuff and assemble advanced stuff. And so it's very much a technical construction arm of the, and if you will, a de-engineering arm too, no doubt. Certainly, obviously, they were de-engineering equipment, and that's why they were able to direct this. They knew what to build. They could write these specifications, advanced specifications, because they knew what direction they were trying to head with this stuff. So, but
well, that's exactly, you hit it right on the button, because in 1958 they originally established DARPA as their original mission to prevent surprise, like a launch from a Sputnik, or Soviets had beaten us to the States, but now they're also creating this to surprise our enemies. And this keeps changing. They actually changed their name from ARPA to DARPA. When you were working there, was it ARPA or DARPA?
Okay, well, that's what you're talking about. That's the predecessor to the internet, where they had the ARPANET and the DARPANET. But, gosh, what was I going to say? The thing about this, it's a little bit different, the technology stuff. I'm sorry, I kind of...
Well, Maxwell on DARPA. Maxwell, I want to ask you on DARPA and also HARP, because you mentioned about the ley lines of the Earth, and there seems to be a natural energy why there's cities at certain places, and 33 degrees and all the rest of that. I know you know about that kind of stuff. So what's your take on both DARPA and HARP and the ley lines? Go ahead.
John Bearden and Dr. Bob Beck were talking about ELF, the extreme low frequency, and the Woodpecker effect coming out of Russia. Woodpecker is still, I guess, in operation. You hear it on shortwave. And so the whole concept of using frequencies and high technology, what they call over the horizon radar, to create earthquakes, to create hurricanes and volcanoes down, I don't know. There's all kinds of high technology that's been known for many years, and Tesla was doing that kind of stuff a long time ago. And so the guy you really want to listen to on that kind of stuff is Colonel Tom Bearden. You can find him on the web and just listen to some of the stuff he's talking about DARPA, but he's talking about the occult and heavy-duty stuff that this government and other governments around the world are actually doing. And I would throw in something that you might want to look up. It's called the Woodpecker. A lot of people may not know what I'm talking about, but it's a very interesting subject. Just look up Woodpecker effect, and you will see that both Russia and America have been using this kind of high technology, ELF, extreme low frequency, to cause people to go crazy, causing people to get angry, causing people to become confused electrically. So all of this stuff's been known. I mean, I'm sure it was enforced as far back as maybe the 40s and 50s, but it started to come out in the 70s. This high technology using electronics to confuse people, to cause strange cloud formations, and of course that brings in HARP. So all of this stuff is very legitimate. It's very, very real, but there's a lot of good stuff out there now, a lot of good information on it now that wasn't there back in the 70s when we were originally talking about it.
Look into Bob Beck, guys.
Yeah.
Congress sent Bob Beck to Russia to investigate the Woodpecker. He basically smuggled some gear in there that allowed him to analyze the frequency and figure out what was going on.
And he was a dear friend of mine for many, many years.
Yeah. He was a friend of mine too, George.
Yeah.
He used to hang out at my shop and buy lasers for me to use as pointers at his lectures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was a wonderful, wonderful man.
He always wanted the most powerful laser. Had to be twice as powerful as what anybody else had.
They keep changing their story and their name. If you've worked for ARPA or DARPA, we'd like to interview you on Third Phase of Moon and find out what's going on behind the scenes. Everybody keep your eyes in the sky, and if you captured anything amazing, send it to Third Phase of Moon via Skype or Facebook. My name's Blake Cousins. We'll see you again next time. By popular demand, we are pleased to announce the Third Phase of Moon album is finally featured on iTunes. With all your favorite songs and themes you hear on the top UFO channel on YouTube, Third Phase of Moon. Out of This World soundtracks composed by master artist Paul Barrett. With 12 remastered and extended cuts to enjoy. Download them now, exclusive on iTunes. Click the link in the description below. Now listen for yourself, heard by millions around the world, Paul Barrett's album, Third Phase of Moon.